Blessed be, Brother Nobody. Good to see you, people. Good to have you here with us. Hell, forgive the theatrics. Can't resist. Oh, not stoned at all. Not stoned at all here, Hood. Just excited because we're diving into, quite frankly, a really fun game which I played before. Hello as well, Fox. It's good to see you. Always an absolute bloody pleasure. Everyone's turning up today. Who would have thought? It's so good to see so many people are here to make it nice and early with us as we get going here. Also, I'm glad it's just a routine look for you, noob, with your wife's surgery. Fingers crossed. Hopefully all goes well here. Yes, not fatal, but all in all, things will go well. Now, folks, as for what you've got to expect here, I don't know how many people have heard of Pentiment. Pentiment's a special one. A very, very special one. It's a game that was recommended to me by a friend a long time ago. It's beloved by him, and I've played a bit of it. I had a lot of fun with it, but I never finished it. Never got far into it, and I've had a long break to make sure I could forget everything. And the only things I really remember about the game is the fact it's split into like little segments. In other words, there's different areas of the same town you can travel between, and you're solving a murder mystery in an abbey. I don't know the solution. I don't know a hell of a lot of what's going on there, but it's fun. I really enjoyed it. And so, my lovers, we are going to join the abbey, and we are going to dive in to the investigations to work out exactly what is going on to our dear brothers and sisters, and to find out what is going on at the root of this town. So, my monks, come join us. Come let us dive headfirst into the adventure to come, as we discover the truth of what is going on in Pentiment. I have a real soft spot for this game, and I cannot wait to see what's going on. And this is actually a really cool part of the game, just to say. Here, it takes... I can't remember what the technical term for it is. I guess you could say calligraphy or script work or scripture, because writing hasn't always been something that everyone, or most people rather, can do. Before the days of modern education, reading and writing was an incredibly rare and valuable skill, and it's very easily taken for granted. So at the time of this, I want to say it's 1600s Europe, writing's a big deal. And you can tell a lot about someone by how verbose they are, or how well versed they are when it comes to books, litanies, scripture, you name it. But that just makes it all the more exciting that we get to dive in and figure things out here. So, we're going to be using this stylized script. I'll be reading it out as we go, so if at any point you have struggles reading it, hopefully I'll be able to help alleviate the troubles. For now, hell, let's throw ourselves into it, because we're going all in. I want to finish it today. Ooh. Oh, this is another really cool thing. You get to learn how they used to erase pages after making mistakes. They take a stone and just rub it away. And that way they could reuse the parchment. Here we go. Let us see what the story now will tell us. Oh, for anyone who wants to play this, I do believe it's on Game Pass on Xbox. So if anybody ever wants to play it for themselves, and I can recommend it, I can't believe I'm even going to unironically say, don't bother watching this stream, don't bother watching the VOD, get lost, go experience it for yourself. But if you don't have the time for that, or you just want to hang out, come enjoy the experience with us here as we go through it. Oh god, the music. There's that hurdy-gurdy. Why is medieval music just so much better than anything we have in the modern world? I don't understand it. It's incredible. It's probably because it's played by rabbits. Feast thine eyes as we get jiggy with it. The style, man, it's so good. Ah, yeah, here we go. A map of the times. Oh, you also do get a bit of control over character creation, which is interesting, but you do always play the same person. Oh, it's not even 1600s, it's 1500s. So we're going to be in Tasling, Bavaria, which at the time was part of the Holy Roman Empire. An artist sleeps. An artist's mind. And this is our mind. So we're Andreas. And the abbot said to me, Andreas? Notice as well how you get like little spelling mistakes that get corrected. It's just really cool. So, a lot of the dialogue we use in this game is going to have really serious implications. Not all of it, some of it's just little, get a bit of information here and there, but time will still pass all the same. So, what would the abbot have said to me? I think he would have said to us, keep your conversations with Brother Piero to a minimum. Who's Brother Piero? We have Beatrice up here. Brother Piero is such a source of wisdom and encouragement for you, though. Click underline word to access the glossary. Ah! There we go. So we've got this big old finger pointing up. So this is Brother Piero. So he's one of the people we are apparently conversing with. Indeed, but the rule of the Christian contemplative life demands that the brothers not engage in idle chatter. What is the rule? The Rule of Saint Benedict of Nursia is a book of instructions for monks living together under the guidance of an abbot. Written in the 6th century, the rule provides the principles for living a monastic life. I'm ready for those Gregorian chants, baby. Jesus Christ, what a pack of dullards. Be happy you're only stuck there a few more months, Andreas. Okay, jokes aside, saying Jesus Christ in this era would be grounds for execution. So St. Groban is... Oh, he's a naughty boy. Prester John, how did you reply to the abbot, Andreas? Ooh, I think... You know what, I think we would have just nodded and kept working. Not worth arguing about, especially as the abbot isn't even there to observe you on most days. I agree. I definitely agree. Hello as well, Marv. Good to see you. Right, not like Prior Ferenc is any less of a prick. Who's Ferenc? This guy. I like his hair. I like his hair. It must be said. Andreas can labour equally well under either master, albeit with as much guidance from Brother Piero. Oh, this is Socrates! Despite the abbot's ire, you must endure. Soon you will have finished both the abbot's work as well as your masterpiece. So this is actually, well, it's not underlined, I think this is a really important piece of historical context. So, a masterpiece, well, while we associate it with a singular piece of work done by an artist as their greatest piece of work, a masterpiece originally was born in academia for artists. It would be a single piece of work an artist in that given field creates, and that would certify them as a master of the craft. Hence, it's a masterpiece. Kind of like writing a doctoral thesis to become a doctor. And then you will return to Nuremberg, where marriage and your new life as a master awaits you. Where's Nuremberg against Germany, I want to say, isn't it? Free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire, major trade centre and city of arts, including printing. Oh, so this is around the time when printing presses came in. 1500s. I'll be buggered. Beatrice, yes, marriage to someone he has never met. Hardly ideal. Arranged marriages. Marriage was originally used for politics. I think it's fair to say that. It's not exactly a groundbreaking revelation. Well, the alternative is becoming a philosopher. Oh, Jesus, then you should definitely get married. Is she pretty, at least? The small portrait they sent was lovely, but we artists can be flatterers. Oh, who knows? That's not why I'm doing it anyway. That's what my brother said in his letter, but maybe he's just trying to lift my spirits. Jeez, not exactly thrilled about the prospect of marriage. Prester John, it is growing late. The wheel of time stops for no man, Andreas. I fear you must leave us. Ah, true, your majesty. Will you visit us again soon? Well, I can always dream of this place, your majesty. Of course. If you're not here tomorrow night, I pray you will be someplace as pleasant. Grobian, please see Andreas safely home. Of course, your majesty. Until next time, Andreas. Until next time, your majesty. I'm not a fan of the rhetoric that is involved in the speaking, but not because I don't like the style of the game, but because it's so tiresome and pointless. Pay no mind to the other fools, Andreas. Well, there are quite a lot of fools, aren't there? I never do. Good life advice. Jesus Christ, this is brutal. This guy's just straight up getting beaten to death. He probably can't even swim. How? At least I would if they stopped stepping on my feet. Watch where you're going. So this guy's just going to keep stepping on our feet. They're fools, Andreas. No point in trying to teach them anything. Double fort beard is a look. I know old John wants you to endure the abbot's shit, but since I take you home, I get the last word. Don't let him run you ragged, boy. Hang about, I just looked at the prow of the ship. Is that... Are those strings, or is it just wood texture? Because it almost looks like we're sailing in a loop. Are we sailing in a loop? Oh, thank you for the gifted sub, noob. I don't want to cause trouble. That's no way to think about it. You need to stand up for yourself. Noob, you must be climbing again to your old heights. Would you please stop? Oh, damn, that actually did look kind of painful. Did he just straight up wind us by kneeing us in the stomach? I give up. Take me home, Grogan. As you wish, fools. Oh, so our feet were just getting poked by the little one. Oh, hello, Ursula. Oh, she's adorable. Go on, and oh, she can't speak properly. She's that young. Time to get up. Yes, time to get up. One, the Baron. 1518. Okay, so we're fully dressed. This is our character, Andreas. A few more pages back to the Abbey. So let's take a quick look at our journal here. So we've got our journal, Ex Libris, which is essentially our character. Or, if I remember right, Libris means book in Latin. So Ex Libris, maybe it means my book, our book, something along those lines. I'm not sure. So this is essentially a biography for us. So we know we're from Nuremberg. We've got a lot more to learn about us. If we ever get lost in the landscape, we have lots of things to look at here. So this is the actual core town of Tassing, the place the game is set. We will learn the layout of this place pretty quickly, but this is good to come back to if we ever get lost. If we want to look at Outer Tassing, so this is the town we were just looking at on the map, we can see where everyone's farms are, we can find ways to get to and from the Abbey, and even the Abbey has its own layout up here. But if we ever have general questions about the surrounding area or Europe during 1518, we can come to the map here to look at Europe itself. So, Europe's history make it nearly impossible to know what is going on at any given period unless you have genuinely studied it and committed it to memory. I am not going to pretend I have any idea about the state of Europe in 1518, beyond the fact it was extremely religious, and I want to say, thanks to the advent of the print press, it would have been a time of populist uprisings where the masses had begun to gain literacy and learn that their masters weren't necessarily looking out for them. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Things could turn out differently. So we'll have a lot of choices and information around all of these different places to come back to, but for now it's not too relevant. We have a glossary here, so we can look at any key characters on the pages. So we heard a bit about these guys in our dreams here. So we have Prior Ferenc of Pex, originally from Hungary. Ferenc is the prior of Keosor Abbey and is responsible for running the scriptorium, known for his interest in esoteric books. That's intriguing. So, esoteric books already bringing up alarm bells, because books would be carefully guarded and strictly monitored. Oh, hello, Stuntley. Thank you for coming in and saying hello. It's a pleasure to see you. I hope you're doing well today, and I hope things are going well for you. Okay, now we've got Brother Piero of Verona. Verona, I want to say, is Italy, but I can't remember for sure. Artist of Keosor Abbey, known for his kindness and helpful nature. Brother Piero is also respected as a master painter specialising in works of extraordinary colour. And here's the little one that was just poking off it. Ursula Gertnerin, or Gertnerin? Daughter of Peter and Clara, half-sister of Eva and Big George. Good, got Xmas gifts. Oh, fantastic. Good on you. Well done for being proactive and getting a few Christmas bits taken care of in advance. Okay, and the glossary, in case there's any terms that we lose track of. Oh, I did want to quickly go back to the journal. So, this is our current task. A few more pages. Prime hour 6. So this is the current day, is what I'm assuming. Another day, another few pages for the abbot, and hopefully a few for myself. I need to get across town and head up to the abbey so I can start work at the scriptorium. Okay, so while we're an aspiring master artist, we are currently working in an abbey and working on getting as many things as we can together to, well, increase our portfolio while simultaneously earning some income. I mean, artists in this era would have come from noble families, so we're clearly well off by modern standards. I say modern standards, by medieval standards. I really should clean this up. So we've got a mess. The Pictorix, Keel Solomon, the Heptameron, Prior Ferenc keeps giving me all of these books to read. So Ferenc was the one with esoteric books, and he clearly wants to share his love of esoteric books with us, a learned individual. Makes a lot of sense, Ursula. And I fucking love her. Yeah, kids are great. Clara. So this is Ursula's mother, and it seems to be our host. Good morning, Andreas. Did you sleep well? Quite well, actually. Yeah, we want to be polite. See, this is the thing. We can't talk like we're in the modern world. We have to bear in mind if I was in this setting and I went, yo, what's up, motherfuckers? How we doing today? Jesus Christ, what's that smell? I'd be executed on the spot. Well, maybe not on the spot, but I'd be burned at the stake. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Anyway, I know you'll be off to the Abbey, so I packed you some food. Oh, thank you, Clara. That's actually really generous. Almonds, cheese, and some of the rye you like from the Albans. Otto wanted me to... What's that? Oh, Otto wanted me to ask you to join him for dinner at the Abbey. Who's Otto? Oh. Otto stopped by Eva, so that's the half-sister of Ursula, okay. And this is Otto. We'll need to remember his face. Otto, yes, around dawn. Ooh, is that a bit of... Is that a spa? Oh, just look at the animation style as well. This is all hand-drawn, I'm pretty confident, just from looking at it. And it's stunning. Really stunning. Here you are, Andreas. That's too kind of you, Clara. Many thanks. Master Andreas, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, could we? Would it be too much trouble if you paid next month's rent today? Ooh. Already a conundrum. I don't remember this, actually. And if we raised it by 2 groschen? Groschen is obviously the currency of the time. I hate to ask, but we're behind on our taxes to the Abbey. 2 months behind. Jesus. Peter's losing his hair over it. Even more than usual, I mean. Of course, it's no problem at all. Wait, what's this? Oh, so we can actually go into our forts a little bit more to get time to work things up. I'm not sure how to respond to this. Rent wasn't due until the beginning of May. What is this shit? Don't they pay taxes every year? Why is this falling on you to fix? You must take the consequences of inaction into account. Be generous, Andreas. You can spare the money and it will ease their burden. Well, this is the thing. They're not landlords. They're lodgers. They're putting it up. Okay, I can't promise anything. I'll see what I can do. Of course, I understand. I hate to even ask it of you. Our taxes get harder to pay every year. Peter works hard, but it never seems like it's enough. St. Luke, bless you for helping us out. Speaking of St. Luke, how is your masterpiece coming along? It's been 2 months now. Oh wait, are we doing a masterpiece based on St. Luke? The Christian evangelist and patron saint of artists and physicians, often represented by a winged bull. Slowly, I'm afraid. Most of my days are spent doing work for the Abbey. Okay, so we're not getting to work on our masterpiece as much as we'd like, because we're dedicating more time to working. Okay. It's only during the divine office that Prior Ferenc allows me to work on my masterpiece. What's the divine office? The prayer times observed by all Christian monastic orders. Monks and nuns pray together 7 times a day and once at night, as dictated by the rule of Saint Benedict. Rhetoric. Very, very intensive. A reasonable restriction, but slow going. The city council doesn't require it to become a master. I'm making it mostly to show clients, and for my own sake. And yes, when I do finish, I will go back to Nuremberg, where I will marry and open a workshop of my own. From Nuremberg to a university, and now travelling the world as an artist. What a life you have ahead of you, Master Andreas. Yes, I suppose it does feel like I'm starting a new chapter in my life after... Ooh. So now we can establish our background a little bit. I suppose it does feel like I'm starting a new life after a few missteps. Some wandering, we'll say. Some wandering. It must be rather frightening starting all over again. I owe it to my family to make something of my life. It is, but I know now that this is what I want to do. How do we know that? Can we be sure? Because I've had a really similar experience to this when I did my master's degree, where I was like, I'm going to be a psychologist, I'm going to make the world better for people, I'm going to change schools and make them the centres of education they deserve to be for the sake of the kids. Doesn't work out that way. Ooh, this will be remembered. I owe it to my family to make something of my life. They helped me even after I dropped out of university. I can't let them down. That's wild. Dropping out of university in this era is no small thing. I'm sure you make your family proud, Andreas. Anyway, I don't know anything about art, but I've seen you sketching such beautiful things in your little book. Your masterpiece must be wonderful. It's hard to say until it's done. That's no way to think about it. I'm sure it will be a treasure when it's finished. Now, I have to get back to my own work. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas, and we'll see you after Vespers for supper. What's Vespers? Isn't that prayer time or something? Monastic hour at dusk, one of the major prayer hours. It is followed by supper. Not tonight, but thank you. Klaus Strucker invited me over for supper, so we'll be spending it with Klaus. Okay, another person in the village who we'll see for supper. So food is a very important thing. So how we choose to spend our meal times, who we spend it with to get conversations in, form relationships, it's all fundamental. Notice as well how the font above our character is far cleaner compared to Clara's. Yeah, so that's a really clever way of showing accents. Let's go into the chat. You said you were behind on taxes to the Abbey. Exactly how much are you sure? 2 goldens worth. What's that? Golden. Gold coins used as currency throughout the Holy Roman Empire. Though different standards exist for the golden in different regions, it is generally equivalent to the Florentine florin. That's a lot of money for this time. If you can't pay your rent early, that's alright. I'm sure we can find some way to pay the abbot. I'm happy to contribute whatever can. I know times are hard for you. You have a good heart, Andreas, but I'm afraid I can't accept. Peter's too proud of a man to ask for charity while there's still ground to till. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked you about rent in the first place. You're young and have your own life ahead. I'm happy to pay early, Clara. You've been good hosts to me, and I can do without more than your family. I agree with that. We've got to look after him. Something... Oh, it's going to be God. Yeah. Notice how God comes in. It's highlighted. It's bold. It's got more attention paid to it. Every single line of dialogue is written out this way, and the way it's written is just as important as the words themselves. God bless you, Andreas. Don't mention this to Peter, alright? He would hate to know I told you about our troubles. He won't know a thing. Thank you, Andreas. Until later, Clara. Not gonna lie, this food looks great as well. That looks like a proper stew. Yeah. Oh god, just look at her! She's so great! Alright, so now we're out on the farm. So we know this is on the outskirts. So down here is Peter. Clara's husband. Andreas, yeah. Oh, but there's also another Peter here. Ill Peter. God bless you. Oh god, these pigs look wild in the back as well. Andreas. Oh, so he doesn't know our name. Oh, so he wasn't scoffing. He just genuinely couldn't remember and was confused. Ah, oh yes, Andreas. This weather's been... god-awful? God-awful. This town's gone to shit since my days. Honestly, a crotchety old man. It fits. It fits the vibe. I don't think the townsfolk can do much about the weather. Were things very different when you were young? You know what we'll say? That. Well, of course they wouldn't know how to do anything now. No one follows the old ways anymore. Paganism is this. The old abbot didn't bother us much about our custom. He didn't mind if we left a little offering to Percha, to keep the skies clear, the weather fair. Matthias knew that God was in our hearts, even if... Oh no, that Christ was in our hearts, even if the White Lady's name was on our lips. Oh, that's very intriguing. Also, we've got some different tidbits of information here. What's St. Moritz, first and foremost? St. Moritz is the patron saint of Tassing, the town we're in. Legend states he was the Egyptian-born commander of a Roman legion who converted to Christianity. They were all martyred for their faith, and his hand is a relic in Kearsarge Shrine. So there's actually a very important relic at the Abbey. It'll be his hand. You think that spirits have been fouling the weather since no one comes to... Oh, no, since no one follows the customs anymore. I think we'll highlight that we know the saint is a different person. Yes, and Saint Satia too. Oh, another saint. So this town has a load of patron saints. Satia was a local pagan who converted to Christianity. Lots of people converting to Christianity. And miraculously aided St. Moritz's soldiers with food in the dead of winter. She was martyred for her actions. Lots of martyring going on. The saints weren't the first to watch over Tassing. My father knew that. Old Rannig Kemper, who's Old Rannig? The late husband to Ottila. So Ottila, okay, this person's deceased, someone in the village. That bastard abbot may not like it, but some of us keep the traditions alive. What do these traditions entail? I think genuine curiosity. When you get up in the night to take a piss, go around the right side of the house and never go back the same way. So fucking great. Superstition's a wild thing. That way the witches don't steal your soul. Oh, how interesting. I should go. Yeah, we probably should go. God bless you. God bless you, sir. God bless you, Peter. Oh, we can toggle between running and walking. Okay. We've got the chickens. Big George is this guy, I'm assuming. Yeah, Big George. So this is Ursula's half-brother. Morning, Andreas. Clara's daughter with Peter? Oh, no, son with Peter. Okay. Morning, Big George. And the fact he's just called Big George. How's it going? You working today? Just taking a rest for a bit. Dad's still in the field. He hit a big rock with the plough and it took me Lord knows how long to pull it out. You off to the Abbey? Every day but Sunday. Right. Thank God for Sundays. Yep. Got to enjoy that Sabbath. Smells like a storm's coming, no? It smells like fresh alpine air to me. You've been travelling too much. Where was it you spent your... What in the world is that word? Wanderhari? Wanderhair? Wanderhair, that's what it is. Where was it you spent your wandering years during which a journeyman artist or craftsman travel far and wide to improve their skills? Oh, that's really cool. Where was it you spent your wanderhair before you came to Tassel? Oh, now we get to pick our background, so we can pick some different places we could have gone in our effort to learn more about our craft. But it comes with some interesting potential benefits and cons, according to each decision. Now, this I can remember from before as well. We can speak multiple languages, which is pretty common for the aristocracy of the time. And, to be honest, it's pretty common in the modern day. Bilingualism is more common than monolingualism. English-speaking folks in the UK are shite at speaking multiple languages, not because we're incapable or because it's hard for everybody, but because we are institutionally brought up with the belief that English is the superior language. It is not. And unfortunately, it means we are often not taught other languages at a young age when you're most able to learn. But I digress. The question now is, where do we want to have spent our Wanderhaar years? Wanderhair? Well, I can't pronounce it. Never mind. I can't speak German. Oh, also, I just missed it. Hello, GG, mate. Good to see you, mate. I hope you're doing well. I hope times are treating you alright over there in America. What's new in the world? Okay, so what would be a good place for us to travel to? Basel? Andreas knows some Italian and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Basel and nearby Bern, Zurich and Freiburg. The Low Countries. Andreas knows some Dutch and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Antwerp, Bruges and Ghent. Or Italy. Andreas knows Italian, a little Greek, and can reference cultural touchstones from Florence, Venice and Milan. Okay, so in all of these cases, we end up knowing a little bit of each language. We can't fully know French or Dutch, but we can fully know Italian and a little Greek. So where would we want to have gone? So if we're in Germany and we're an artist, I feel like Italy is a great direction for us to go if we're going down the route of becoming a master artist. Because, well, when I think of master artists of the time, I think the first people that come to mind are people like Leonardo da Vinci, uh, Michelangelo, a lot of Italian inspiration behind theological art. Plus, not just paintings, but things like sculptures, drawings, writing. A lot comes out of it. Not to mention, I quite like the idea of being fluent in Italian. Italian as well is a fun thing about the language, and this is something I learned through reading Eat, Pray, Love, so I don't know how true it is, but I hope it's true. And also, Eat, Pray, Love, fucking hated it, do not recommend it at all. But it was a cool thing to learn that Italian was a language that was intentionally designed to be spoken poetically. So it has an iambic structure or something along those lines. So every sentence follows the da 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 sort of flow because they wanted it to sound beautiful. So they merged all the different dialects from around Italy at the time, these academics that got together and said, we need one language. And they created something beautiful. And it was inspired heavily on Dante's Divine Comedy at the time. That, I can't remember if it's true or not. Again, it's all Eat, Pray, Love. Who the hell knows how accurate that is or if it's complete nonsense? Either way, it's interesting. Also, hello, Tutu. It's good to see you again. It has been a long time no see. I hope you're doing alright. I hope you're taking care of yourself. It's good to have you back. And, well, get comfy. Make yourself welcome. It's always good to see you. Okay, now in terms of where we're going to go Italy. We're going to commit. Italy. Florence for a while, but Venice and Milan as well. Italy? No wonder your senses are dull. You've been down there too long. Spend enough time in these mountains and you'll be able to smell a storm coming. How long will that take? 10, 15 years? Jesus, okay. I don't think I have that long, Big George. What would you spend all that time in Italy doing, anyway? Other than art, I mean. Cool. So now we actually get a bit of our lifestyle accounted for. Now, what would we have been doing? We're an artist that comes from a noble family, and we went down to Italy for our Wunderhaar years. Wunderhaar. I'm going to stop trying to pronounce that word correctly because I'm just not going to get it. Not until I can hear someone else say it. The key there is, were we diligent and actively trying to get better at what we do? Or were we taking advantage of the luxuries of our lifestyle? So we could have been a hedonist or a hedonist. Andreas seeks out pleasure wherever he goes. He is extremely social and quite experienced in all the enjoyable vices of the world. Again, this is the 1500s. Hedonism is a luxury of the elite, but it's not looked upon favourably. So that could really bite us in the ass if we chose it. Craftsman, Andreas lives to work and dedicates all of his time to his art. Truly obsessed with the passion. Still very cool. So it could be the case that all of our time was spent becoming a craftsman, which, again, would make us an expert in our field. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the right decision. Bookworm. Andreas spends all his non-working free time finding and reading as many books as he possibly can. A part of me feels like that could be a really interesting route already, based on the fact that Prior Ferenc was giving us books, as we saw in our room, to read. So that could be a bonding point with us and Ferenc. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Rapscallion. Andreas has a penchant for getting involved in petty schemes, pranks, minor crimes, and fistfights. I feel like that goes heavily with hedonism, like almost sensation-seeking. I don't know if we can pick more than one, but I'm pretty confident we only do get one. Businessman. And Andreas devotes much of his time to self-promotion, optimizing business expenses, making investments, and balancing his books. So that... Well, basically, are we money-hungry, is the question there. That is a legitimate skill. Handling accounts is not an easy job, and doing it well is extremely hard. But still, Does it feel like the right choice? No, I think bookworm. We like reading, simple as that. I'm having the day off today. Other than that, I've been working the mixed shifts, like 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Oh, Jesus, you're really putting the hours in too. I hope you're not burning yourself out doing all of this. That's hard to keep up with. Chilling today, good stuff. That's how it should be. Venice is filled with incredible printers. Florence continues to illuminate beautiful manuscripts. And the books they produce are treasures, every single one. I didn't realise that books that meant that much to you. I've seen Father Thomas's Bible and a few other books. I haven't had much use for reading, though. Use Father Thomas. Okay, another person. Most likely someone we'll see, a face we'll recognise. Anyway, I have to get going. George, let's go! Peter. Dad's already acting like I'm taking too long, even though I did all the work to get that rock out. See you later, Andreas. Until later. Family apprenticeships. Really would have taken up a huge chunk of the time for all these families. Or can we chat with them again? Hey, Andreas, you say hello to the girls today? Eva and Clara? No, I mean the chickens. Peter, James, and John. The girls? They like it when you stroke their back or give them a good scratch under the breast. Oh, he's talking about his chickens. You named your chickens after the apostles? Isn't that blasphemy? Okay. I guess when you put it plain like that. But I hear about the apostles every Sunday in Mass. They witness greatest moments of glory. Oh, witness Jesus' greatest moments of glory and his darkest trials. And I was thinking, that's how it is with the girls and me. They see everything I deal with around here. I think we'd be doing him a service by telling him not to mention it to anyone else, especially the father. It's fine, I get it. I'll just call them the girls from now on. I don't recall your family eating eggs. What do you do with all of them? Probably sell them? Yeah. We sell them to the Boers, another family, I'm assuming. Clara says we need the extra money for taxes. Jesus, they're already getting taxed heavily. Anyway, I should get back to it. Until later, Andreas. Until then. So taxes are really burdening this particular family. Oh, we got more people. Endris. Town blacksmith. Fuck me, handsome man. Handsome man. Good timing. Do you have a moment to lend me a hand? Sure. Let's give him a hand. Why not? I've got too many irons in the fire. Or rather, shoes. Those shoes. 4 shoes. I miscounted how many I put in. Now I need a hand or else they'll overheat and I won't be able to work them out. Alright, let's give him a hand. Here, take this shoe and the tongs. And put the hot part of the shoe on the anvil and I'll hit it with the hammer. Okay, nice, simple labour. Maybe we should have been a smith. What's going on here, bud? Oh, moving the mouse to rotate is quite interesting because it's actually coming out of the window of the game. Maybe I'm just going a bit too far. See? Short work. Nice. Thanks for the help, Andreas. I don't know what I was thinking doing all of those at once. Hey, you're a productive fella. Capitalism's already winning. It sure would be nice to have someone to help me out here every day. He needs an apprentice, yeah. Have you considered an apprentice? I have. None of the boys in the village seem interested. Keep at them. I bet you could get Bert Drucker, who's Bert. All the bloody children in this game are adorable beyond belief. Klaus would have me head if I tried. Anyway, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'll see you and Otto up by the Abbey guest house for dinner. Until then. Oh, sweet, so we're going to have dinner with the guy. Again, food is a really important thing. Endres Schmidt's smithy. It's so much smaller than the one he uses at the Abbey. Okay, so there's one at the Abbey too. Good to know. So here's the town. Small square filled with sheep. Looks like there's a few people arguing up the top. Noblemen by the looks of it. Martin, please can you give me a hand here? We've got Veronica. What do you want? I'm keeping an eye on them. That looks a lot like standing there and doing nothing. Martin, for Christ's sakes, help your cousin. Ah, morning, Andreas. Excuse us. One of the fence rails fell off and the sheep started hopping it. Can we offer to help? We know nothing about how to handle it. We're an artist, not a shepherd. Very true. No, excuse me, I'm trying to stay out of the way. Thanks, it'll probably take an hour or two to track them all down at this rate. Blood sacrament. That sounded like pure blasphemy. What did I say about blasphemy? Yeah, sorry, Mum. Oh look, there's something going off at the Steinor's place? Yeah, so this is what we could see. So this person's clearly a nobleman. Martin, who's that on the horse, looks rich. I don't know, Martin, but Lucky is giving him an earful. Lucky, eh? Christ, I haven't seen Lucky that worked up since Peter and Clara's wedding when Johan pulled his pants down. Ooh! Knocked out 2 of my man's teeth. You don't want to feel the strength behind a stonemason's anger. He's a stonemason. Fuck, okay. Do you think he's a noble? He looks really rich. God damn it, Martin. Stay out of trouble for once. I like Hetty. She seems like a good egg. What on, Hetty? Behave yourself. Don't we have enough to deal with right now? Yeah, with the sheep, honestly, yeah. Andreas, if you wouldn't mind moving your skinny little body up the road, we need to get these sheep under control. Of course, I'll see you later. That feels a bit antagonistic. We'll just say good luck. So, again, you've got to admire how beautiful this town actually is. Okay, we've got a fork in the road, so now we're heading to Church and Drucker's. So this is the Drucker's household. And if I remember correctly, this is who we've agreed to have a meal with? Klaus. Okay, so going off of the way the text was formed there, notice how it was like little blocks. I think he's responsible for the print press in the town. Morning, Andreas. How's it going? Yeah, that would explain why his words are so neat and uniform too. Morning, Klaus. Another day at the Abbey. Another few hours to work on my masterpiece. Yeah, and it all comes in at once with him instead of scribbled out. He's responsible for the printing press in the town. Notice how some of the words are faded as well, like the ink didn't get pressed on properly. Such a good level of detail just in the text. Good to hear. You still coming by for supper tonight? Marie and Bert would love to see you. Yeah, the non-uniformity of the ink, genius. Marie and Bert must be his wife and son. You really need to see these new woodcuts I have for an Italian edition of Till Eulenspiegel. The titular character of a popular 15th century book. Till is a prankster, continually exposing the vices and hypocrisy of others. He is also quite skilled at tricking people into smelling, touching, or eating his excrement. Oh, God. Why is it always something to do with shit when it comes to fools and jesters? I didn't realise Father Thomas let you print books in Italian. Ooh, come on, Andreas, he's not that strict. I know he's just protecting people from... No, we don't want to insult his typesetting. Adventure stories of questionable moral repute. He doesn't mind those so much, actually. That's funny. No? Prussian homes are beautiful too, to wholly agree. As long as they don't get too carnal. Ooh, sexual. A bit of the old rompy-pompy here in church. So, supper tonight after Vespers. Again, prayer hour. Of course. I'm looking forward to it. I'll tell Marie and Bert you're coming. See you then. See you later. So that's the Druckers. We'll be seeing him for dinner. We've got a windmill up in the distance, and we have... This isn't a prior. It's not a brother. He's not a monk. He's in a church in the town, so that would make him Father Thomas. And we've talked about him a bit already. Back. This is the person we were talking to Big George about, wasn't it? About not telling the chickens that... No, not telling Father Thomas he had named the girls, i.e. the chickens, after the apostles. God bless, Master Mailer. I hope your week is going well. First thing he says, God bless. I feel like we should say, God bless you, Father, if we're trying to be on our best terms with him. Good, good. Andreas, I don't recall seeing you at Sunday morning Mass. Oh, that's his primary concern. Why weren't you at Mass? You understand how important it is for your salvation that you receive Holy Communion, don't you? He looks genuinely distraught. Okay. I think, yeah, at the time, you're not going to do yourself any favours by getting on the bad side of religious organisations. In fact, that's how you die. It just is. Yes, I apologise, Father Thomas. I promise you I'll make it this Sunday. Yeah, that'll be best for us. You don't have to make a promise to me, but our salvation is contingent on... Ooh, what's this? Oh, this is the nobleman that was arguing with Lucky, that stonemason. The Stonebowers? What a blessed day to receive such an illustrious visitor. Oh, he's known. Master Mailer, this is Lorenz, Baron of Rothvogel, a great lord from the countryside near Worms. Good to see you, Father Thomas. It is nice to be remembered fondly. I only wish all of your neighbours were as welcoming. He has very nice calligraphy. Well, yes. What brings you back to our little town? My wife and I were returning from a trip to Venice. We spent a few days in Innsbruck, and it was terribly dull. I mean, it has a certain charm common to these alpine cities, but the place was crawling with nobles for the Emperor's diet. What's that? Oh, whoops. The Emperor? Was he there? Did you see him? Oh, briefly, but he was sitting for a portrait at the time. Quite lovely. I didn't want to bother him or the painter. I want to know what the Diet is. An imperial Diet is an assembly of the free colleges of the imperial estates of the Holy Roman Empire, the prince-electors, the princes and dukes, and representatives of the imperial cities. They meet to deliberate on matters of importance to the empire. Okay, so it's a political gathering, kind of like a gathering of the commons, something along those lines. Venice, one of the most powerful republics on the Italian peninsula. That's interesting. So, at this point in history, it seems like Italy is a collection of separate city-states, rather than a singular nation. That's fascinating. Sitting on the northwest coast of the Adriatic Sea, Venice is a major centre for commerce and art in southern Europe. How was Venice, my lord? I lived there only a few years ago. Oh, fascinating. Well, the city Jews now live in their own quarter of the north. Historically accurate, I imagine. The segregation of Jews is unfortunately integral to the vast majority of European history. It's not good. The city's artists are still producing wonderful work. Titian, in particular, is a god. Ooh, saying that in front of a father? No offence, father. Of course. Anyway, my wife wanted to stay a bit longer in Innsbruck, and I decided to ride ahead to make a visit to Pearsall. I heard Father Matthias died shortly after my last visit, of course. A great loss for the Abbey and for us all. Indeed. By good fortune, I recently came across a copy of the Historia Tacicae he was reading during my last visit. What is that? Historia Tacicae, an account of the early history of Tassing. Kearsul's previous abbot, Father Matthias, had a copy. Baron Rothvogel brought another to the abbey as a gift. Interesting. So that's actually got a history of the town. Father Matthias was hoping to find a second copy to corroborate the contents of the first. So this is the old father of the abbey. It contains some fascinating details about the history of this place. I'm afraid they might even cause a bit of a scandal. Yes. Father Thomas doesn't seem too happy with that. But I must be off. There will be time enough to discuss Tassing's past later. I commissioned a manuscript from the Abbey through Father Gurno, and I have come to check on its progress. So, is Father Gurno the new head of the Abbey? Yes, he is. Again, smashing haircut. Really stylish. Really dig it. It looks good. I wonder if I could pull it off, you know? Oh, my lord, if you have come to see your manuscript, you should speak with young Master Mailer here. Not quite a true master yet. I still have to marry and be approved by our city council. Yeah, let's profane modesty. Andreas is a journeyman artist from Nuremberg. For the next few months, he's also helping in the Abbey's scriptorium. So I don't need to check what the scriptorium is, because the scriptorium is just where monks write. They were the only people that really could work. A Nuremberg artist working in an Abbey scriptorium in 1518. Oh, we should talk, Andreas. I must know the story. So do we want to be better off with the church or with this nobleman? I think, under the current circumstances, we're better off being pally with the nobleman. It would be an honour. Wonderful. It's so rare to find someone in this countryside who knows anything about art. Thank you for the introduction, Father Thomas. Come to supper at the Abbey tonight. I'm inviting you to the abbot's table. Did the abbot invite me? Oh, don't worry about it, Father. Just show up after Vespers. What is he going to do, refuse us? Excellent. We will see you then. That's very presumptuous, my guy. Nicholas, I'm dismounting. Run ahead of us and take the horses to the Abbey's guest house. I'd like to take my time talking with Master Mailer. I'll meet you there. At once, my lord. He's a very privileged individual. I mean, he's a baron. It makes sense that he'd be a privileged shit. So then, a journeyman from Nuremberg. I don't trust this guy. Forgive me for saying so, but you seem a little old to not yet be a master. You said you were unmarried. No, I'm not married, but in truth I came to my vocation later than my father and brothers. I was in university for a number of years, at Erfurt, one of the most populous cities in the empire and is located near its heart. It has been home to a respected university since 1379 and is a centre for humanist thought. Interesting. Humanist thought. We would be very progressive for the time if we studied there. Wonderful. The same university as Martin Luther. Have you read his works? Tremendous mind. He's very complimentary towards the people whose work he approves of. Priest and professor of theology at the University of Wittenberg. Controversial for his opinions on the church's sale of indulgences to forgive sin, which were recently published and distributed throughout the empire. Very progressive. Potentially a way of making enemies there. He says things about the church that should have been said years ago. Might get him into trouble, but he's a brave, brilliant man. What sort of things did he say? Well, he talked about criticising the church and his the selling of indulgences to forgive sin. Was that it? Wait, you may have even met him, did you? You must tell me. No, he was a few years ahead of me. I think it would be wiser to not have this brought up, but this guy is very laissez-faire with his tongue. He's very quick to say things. He doesn't seem to think much before speaking. Still, we want to be on his good side, so let's go for his ideas do seem fascinating. I agree wholeheartedly. I simply must meet him if I get the chance. I wonder if the good brothers of the Abbey have heard of him. Perhaps they have even read his list of 95 theses against the church. 95 against the church! A list of propositions against the church's practice of selling indulgences for the remission of sin. It was written in 1517 by Martin Luther. Father Matthias was not above having a lively debate. I hope Father Gurno does not disappoint in that regard. But enough about Luther for now. Tell me about your university studies. Oh! Forgive me, Baron, but did you attend university? You seem very well educated. I would like to know. No. My family is merely wealthy enough to have provided me with all the books and tutors a child could dream of. I love all knowledge, from Aristotle and Cicero to Ficino and Erasmus, and everyone in between and yet to come. A very learned man. These are all key classic authors. So Aristotle, I'm sure everyone's quite familiar with in some form or another. Greek philosopher, the progenitor of a lot of Western philosophies, really. So he was renowned as a polymath. He wrote on a wide variety of subjects. His work is extensively cited by current scholars, and even more work is attributed to him than he could ever have written. Yeah, it's fair. Also, the teacher of Plato, who I studied during my time in sixth form. Not a big fan, to be honest, with a lot of this era of philosophy. A lot of it is important to understand, and to understand how it acted as foundations for future philosophical thought. For instance, you could just jump straight to something like absurdism, existentialism, or nihilism, heaven forbid, and be okay, but to really get into the nitty-gritty and understanding of everything that's going on, you need to start from the very beginning. Erasmus of Rotterdam, a Dutch priest and philosopher who is preeminent among northern humanists. He is known for his work in Latin and Greek, as well as his calls for reform within the church. So since we travelled in Italy, we can speak fluent Italian and some Greek. So we've probably read some Erasmus and Aristotle in our education. That would make a lot of sense. Ficino. Marsilio Ficino was a 15th century Italian priest and humanist who was one of the leading figures of the Italian Renaissance. He is well known for his translations of the works of Plato into Latin. I think we'd be familiar with all of these people so far as a character. Cicero, statesman, scholar, lawyer, and renowned orator of the late Roman Republic. He is revered both for his contributions to Latin literature and his skill at rhetoric. Rhetoric is a very fun skill. Oh, hydrate. Say no more, Tutu. I shall obey thy desires. I may have misjudged the Baron. It seems he is as well read as any university student. Well, yeah, wealth is a better way to learn than any form of education. In truth, I am simply happy to speak with another well-educated man. Now then, did you earn your doctorate? That is a... Ooh, wait. Why the erasure there? Only for it to be written out again, but clearer, more precise. There's a meaning here that I'm not picking up on. I'm not sure what the meaning is. I guess my thought process here is that what's going on? Sorry, the bald head is getting chilly. We need to warm it up again. I'm gonna have to shave the rest of my head before the end of the day, just to balance it out. I'm simply happy to speak with another well-educated man. Now then, I know I did. So okay, only a master's degree. Oh, only a master's degree. Sorry. That's the position I'm in. Do I want to go for a doctorate? No. But everyone will always have that mindset of, oh, you only did a master's. Well, fuck off. I was smart enough to know that a doctorate's a trap if you aren't truly passionate about the pursuit. Oh, that's a shame. Well, what was your area of study? What would have been our area of study? Medicine would have been really useful. Imperial law, theology. I don't want to go theology because even though there's going to probably be a lot of use for it, I like the idea of being different to the people around us. So Imperial law could be a good option. Andreas knows the basics of the fractured systems of law that govern the various states of the Holy Roman Empire. Medicine. Andreas is familiar with the basics of human biology, medicine, and illness. We love reading. All three of these genuinely feel like really good options. I think we've got to go medicine, though. I'm picking medicine partially from a gaming standpoint. It would be so useful to be able to treat wounds. Because let's not forget, this, at its core, is a murder mystery. The Italians continue to innovate in that area. Extraordinary, really. Fascinating work. Who knows what secrets we may learn about the human body in the decades to come. If only these people could see what has been developed in the centuries since. Ottila. Okay, so this is a woman with a dead husband here. We know because it was mentioned. I can't remember what her husband's name was, but she does not seem happy. You! If I had any faith, I would have prayed you'd never show your face here again. She's not speaking to us. Yeah. Curse you, Lorenz Rothvogel. Perch's dogs tearing you to pieces would be too kind of fate. One of the patron saints of the town. A pagan entity. These rustic communities display a shocking lack of hospitality, don't you think? What was that about? Who knows? By the time I finish guessing, the old friend will probably be dead. He's not a pleasant individual. Well, what of your early time in university? Every student must study the trivium and... What is this? The trivium and quadrivium. So trivium, first and foremost, great metal band. Let's see what this is exactly. The trivium and quadrivium represent the lower and upper divisions of a classic liberal arts university education. Latin, grammar, logic, and rhetoric form the trivium. Arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy form the quadrivium. So do we have to pick one from the trivium and one from the quadrivium? So if so, we have to pick between grammar, logic, and rhetoric, and then we have to pick between arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. That's my theory here. How is it going to go? Did you have a favourite subject? Awesome! Let's go, baby! What would be our favourite subject? We've got quite a lot. Here we go. So we've got the Latinist. So I feel like that's going to be quite nice and straightforward. Andreas has a strong command of Latin grammar and vocabulary. He can also easily recall centinae antiquae, quoted words of wisdom from the Roman Republic and Empire. A logician, I can never pronounce these words properly. Logician. Fuck off. My mouth cannot make the shapes it needs to. Andreas instinctively thinks through the implications of information as he receives it, is adept at spatial analysis, and can easily perform complicated calculations in his head. Orator. Andreas excelled at rhetoric in university. He is a skilled teacher, persuader, and public speaker. All persuasion. Or the charisma skill of the game. An occultist. Andreas knows a soul-endangering amount of theoretical and practical knowledge on alchemy, astrology, theurgy, necromancy, and various magical rites and ceremonies. Heavens and earth. Andreas knows a great deal about the constellations, heavenly bodies, and their movement. He is also familiar with various plants and animals from study and personal experience. Now, this is quite interesting because it almost highlights the rift between church and academia at the time. We could have played it safe and gone for just like Latin and be like, oh, we're just, we're not going to rock the boat, or we could go all in and flat out be an occultist. If we studied medicine, I feel there's a couple here that would really fit. But we also went to Italy, so Latin could be a really good thing for us to have knowledge on. I think, though, because of the implications, I like the idea of something that's a bit more spicy. This could also put us in good stead with Prior Ferric, since he's into esoteric books. It's the use of the word esoteric. Esoteric how? Lorenz seems interested. Look at his face. He's got a smirk. Mystical texts, books on alchemy, invoking spirits, divination. Purely academic, of course. Of course. That was Blue. I think he knows a thing or two about the esoteric tastes. I started with Ficino's Corpus Hermeticum. We talked about him. He was Renaissance guy. Corpus Hermeticum, a compilation of 17 religious and philosophical treatises encompassing the soteriology of Hermes Trismegistus, thrice great Hermes. The centuries-old texts reflect Egyptian, Greek, and Jewish traditions and ideas were translated into Latin in the late 15th century by Marsilio Ficino and Lodovico Lazzarelli. Quite interesting, Andreas. I'll make some time to speak with you more on this topic during my stay. Ooh, so he's into it. Let's be enthusiastic. I look forward to it, my lord. And your other studies, was there anything else you excelled at? Oh, so we get a second one. Okay. Spicy academia is cool. I like it. I mean, the heavens and earth is, right off the bat, far more abstract. But does it fit with medicine? I mean, the occultism doesn't fit with medicine, but at the same time, in this era, it does. Orator, I like the idea of having purely for the fact that we can be persuasive. It's just so useful to be persuasive under any circumstances involving conversation, deduction, being able to get your way, essentially. Logic is also incredibly useful. At the moment, I'm torn between Orator and Logis. Torn between these two. I'm leaning towards Orator, personally. I think we can do some good stuff. We might be able to find some good middle ground for diplomacy with Orator. Ooh, but at the same time, implications of information as we receive it is also very important. Honestly, a part of me wishes I went for these two. We're going for Orator. The art of persuasion, naturally. Rhetoric. Ah, I assume you studied the Greeks and Romans both? Yes, Aristotle and Cicero, of course, but also Christian thinkers like Augustine and Thomas Aquinas. Augustine and Thomas Aquinas, so we're talking a bit of natural law philosophy here. An immensely influential philosopher, theologian, and jurist in the tradition of scholasticism, St. Augustine of Hippo was an early Christian philosopher, theologian, and a bishop of Hippo Regius. He is recognized as a doctor of the Church and is most known for his work, The City of God, and his autobiographic confessions, as well as his development of the doctrine of original sin. Oh, that's fascinating. Hey, Nolly, good to see you, beauty. Spicy academia supreme here as well for us, Sophie. Let's keep it running. True, we have less use for public discourse than senators did in the Roman Republic. Exactly. The doctors of the church weren't trying to persuade politicians, but to move the mind toward Christian truth. Still, the principles remain the same. Invent your arguments in a arranged style and internalize them before delivering to your audience. Splendid. Though I suppose an artist has little use for rhetoric, especially in a place such as this. Not true. Rhetoric is also an art. And like other forms of art, it should be created for the audience and its purpose. Already, rhetoric is being utilised in such a clever way. It can be practiced as easily in the streets of a rural town as in the Curia of Rome. Well put. Lorenz is like putty in our hands right now. Or are we putty in his hands? I don't know. I really do not know. Here's the Abbey. I have good memories of this place, and of Father Matthias. I'm sad to hear of his passing. How did you come to know him? How did you come to Kirsu at all? Also, check out the fucking legs on this hare. That is one beefy rabbit. I would not want to fuck with that boy. I bet he is the sire of many rabbits in this vale. My family have been patrons of Kirsu for, I don't know how many generations. Some years ago, I heard that Kirsu still had a wonderful library and artisans. Professional artists have taken over most manuscript production, so I was shocked to find an active scriptorium here. Well, there's not much left of it these days. Two old men, a young scribe, and me. Ah, well, perhaps it is nostalgia that brings me back here. I commissioned a manuscript from Father Gurno a year ago. I thought I would stop by and check on its progress. Oh yeah, because if books are being handwritten and not pressed, it's going to take so goddamn long for a single book to be made. Wait, are you the artist working on it? It's a prayer book with 20 illustrations. I know the work, but no. I do know the artist well, the venerable Brother Piero. He's the one we talked to in the Abbey, the one that was mentioned in our dreams. How venerable. He still has his wits and skills, if that's what concerns you. He'd probably make a good stew. Inclined to agree, Nolly. Brother Piero has an incredible talent with colour. Then I very much look forward to seeing it. So are the illustrations going to be beautiful, but the text is going to be getting made far slower than it would be liked? Ooh, baby. Nicholas. Tend to the horses and the baggage. I'm heading up to the Abbey. Okay. Yes, my lord. Okay, we're at the Abbey. Well, let's not keep the abbot waiting any longer. Oh, there's a nunnery too! Yeah, they did say that Vespers is a time when the nuns and the monks pray together, so... A nunnery and an abbey this close to each other. Quite unusual for a Benedictine house to have monks and nuns, even if they are separated. Founded in the 6th century, the Benedictines are a Christian monastic order that observes vows of obedience, poverty, chastity, and stability under the rule of Saint Benedict of Nursia. So the rule dictates a lot of what happens at the Abbey. The church closed most of them centuries ago, but then Kirsul is a place out of time in more ways than one. Why were they closed? Monks and nuns living side by side cannot behave themselves. I don't blame them, though. The church shouldn't either. It's just human nature, after all. Oh, so basically, they're bonking. Ah, you must be Father Gurno. I am Lorenz, Baron of Rothgel, yes. Oh, look at this text. Hey, Loki, it's good to see you. Come on in and get comfy. It's a pleasure to have you here again. The Baron of Rothvogel. So wonderful to have you here again. We actually did meet on your last visit. He doesn't... I can't read the father's face. A part of me is thinking he seems neutral. What does the hair say? I'm thinking it says... Pleased to see you out of politeness, but not genuine joy. Ah, if you say so. I am not good with remembering faces. Please forgive me, my lord, but I wasn't expecting you for another few days. Oh, so they're not ready for him. What's going to be the problem there? Yes, I know, but I rode ahead. I just couldn't wait to see my manuscript. I'm sure it's no trouble. Yes. I mean, no, it's no trouble. Did you want to see it now? He does not look happy. In a moment, I could do with a bit of refreshment, though. May I grab something from the kitchen? He's really making himself at home. Yes. Certainly, my lord. I will meet you there. So he's going on to the kitchen. How's the father feeling about us being late? Andreas, I don't know what you were doing with the Baron, but I need you in the scriptorium. Now! We are not saying that. We say, then get to work! He's so angry! Controlling. I mean, obedience is kind of his thing, isn't it? It's part of the rule, so... Okay, we didn't ask him about getting advance pay. We wouldn't have got a yes, even if we did take a point in rhetoric. It just wasn't the right idea. Maybe I could just convince Brother Mathayu to pay me early. Maybe we could, but find a way to get paid. Let's go into the shrine, because we've got some room to explore here. Let's take a look around and see what happens. Ooh. So that is the relic that was mentioned, the hand of Saint... What was the name of the saint? I can't remember. A reliquary containing the hand of Saint Moritz. Moritz, that's the name. Which is said to have once held the Holy Lance. Isn't the Holy Lance what was used to kill Jesus? Or... he was... I know Jesus was crucified, but he was actually stabbed, wasn't he? Yeah, also called the Spear of Destiny, or the Lance of Longinus. It is the lance that pierced Jesus' side on the cross. Many legends surround the lance, and several places claim to possess it. Yes, so this is a hand that touched a spear that killed Jesus. That's bonkers. Elizabeth. God bless you, Master Mila. Again, God bless you, Elizabeth. Oh, who's this lovely-looking lady? Gertrude! Oh, I'm gonna love her. She looks like my nan. God rest her soul. God bless you, mate. I don't believe in God, but my nan did. I want to believe she was right and she's resting in heaven. That's what matters to me. God bless you. How goes your work in the scriptorium? Been doing a lot of research about it since that's the holy relic that shows up in my story. Nice! Oh, also, Loki, if you're still writing today, I hope that it's going well with your little bits of esoteric occult narratives. May your story be as divine as your ideas. How goes your work in the scriptorium? Very well, thank you. I think we'll be honest with it. It could be better. Would it make you happier if I told you Agnes Steinerin received saffron yesterday? Saffron? Ooh! Sister Matilda saw her at the Albans. So that's one of the sisters, Matilda. Can I just take a quick moment as well? I'm going to quickly hide myself for just a moment so you can see the frog. Look at him. Look at that frog. That is one dripped out to the nines amphibi boy. Almost as good as the dog with the violin. You love to see it. You really do. Medieval manuscripts look incredible. I really do feel like this is a lost art in many ways, and something we could do with more of when it comes to real books in the modern world. Maybe you can convince Prior Fenric to get some for your yellows. Oh yeah, because we'd actually have to make our own paint, wouldn't we? I didn't even consider that. How's Mousefanger? Who's Mousefanger? She's around here somewhere. Hopefully getting to the baby rabbits before Sister Matilda does. Oh, that's Sister Matilda. Yeah, we did just look at her. A whole certified froggy boy. I'm with you on that, Law. Until later, Sister Gertrude. Bless you, Andreas. Maybe I'll see you by the shrine of Saint Satia one of these days. That's one of the patron saints of the town. Yes, it is. Elizabeth is just praying. It just gives us that quiet, God bless you. What's this? Brother Mathayu maintains the shrine along with some of the sisters who paint badges for pilgrims. Who's Brother Mathayu? One sec. Get this. Oh, never mind. It's not working. It just skips it, and I cannot be bothered to wait for it again. So this is another one. Margaret. God bless you, Brother Piero. Well, wait. I think she's blind. Look at her eyes. They're not shut, but they're whited out, and she also doesn't recognise us from this distance. I think she's blind. Oh, maybe not completely. Maybe a lot of blindness is partial, so that would be a really good way of showing it. No, wait, it's Master Mela. I thought you couldn't see, Sister Margaret. During the day, I can see some colours. Yeah, partial blindness. Such good representation of a very real thing that people live with. How did you know it was me? You and Brother Piero both smell of the pigments you use. But you're taller, and you have another smell to you, like fish or burned almonds. That's a very interesting smell. I'm also much more handsome. We are not saying that to a nun. I wouldn't say that to a nun, and that's saying something. That's old linseed oil, popular among the Italians, but Brother Piero doesn't use it. It makes sense that we use it if it's popular among the Italians in that case. I'll ask Sister Gertrude about it. How are Sister Gertrude's herbs coming along? Oh, she has a little garden, does she? That's cool. It's too early to tell. Most of them won't be grown until May. Still, working with herbs suits me. Have a good day, Sister Margaret. God bless you, Master Mayor. Mela. Again, it's the way the writing is scribbled out to show accents is so goddamn great. Let's head into the convent for a second, so we can take some time to explore, take a look around. This door must lead into the rest of the convent, not for me. No, it is not. We are not a nun. Ah, feverfew. It always smells so fresh. We know our plans. At least on a basic level. Sister Gertrude is wise to have some in the garden, so it has medical properties. Okay. Into the prioress's house. Let's ask her if she can tell us anything about the Baron. Cecilia. God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Mother Cecilia. Is there something I can help you with? Yes. Are you named after the hit Foo Fighters song, Saint Cecilia? And will you carry me home? Yes, I want to ask her this. I noticed that you took the sisters inside when I walked up to the Baron. What concern of it is yours? You said much in saying nothing. And now I will say even less. I'm speechless. It's fucking hell. Ooh! There's some weight there. Ah, this is Matilda. Okay. God bless you, Master Mela. Sister Matilda, how are you doing? Mother Cecilia doesn't like us talking to men unless it's necessary to perform our work. So basically, get stuffed. Ah, forgive me. Sorry for bothering you. Thank you, Master Mela. Oh, at least she understands. What do we have here? Some more herbs. The sisters certainly keep their garden well tended. We can pet the cat! Mousefanger. That literally means mice biter, doesn't it? So the cat's responsible for hunting mice. That's cool. What do we have here? Sister Gertrude dries and stores all of our herbs here. Oh, that's so awesome. A self-sufficient little convent. Sophie. God bless you, Master Mela. Again, it's the standard greeting. How are things going in the nun's kitchen? I mean no offence, Master Mela, but I cannot speak with men. My apologies. God bless you. And you as well, sister. Is that saffron? No, it's not saffron. The many-petaled cinquefoil. It grows so easily, some consider it a weed. Tassing's lucky to have so much woundwort naturally growing. I had to buy it back in Norway. Woundwort sounds like it's medicinal. I'm glad that, in fact, I think it's time that if we can pet Mousefanger. Are you awake, sweetie? Hello? Hello? Want to say hello? Want to say hello? Hello. You want to say hello? Yeah, that's the microphone. What do you want to say? She doesn't want to say anything, I don't think. Time to head out to family for the holiday. Nice chilling for a few. See you later. No worries, Loki. Take care of yourself and we'll see you again in the near future. Get yourself up, darling. Okay. Go on, you can sleep in the hat if you want. What's over here? We could go into the cloister or we can go straight into the church. I think we should check out the church first. I have such a soft spot for this sort of music. This isn't Gregorian chanting, is it? Oh, bless you, sweetie. Rudegger. Possibly don't dig the plants up. Don't dig. No! Leave the succulents! No! Silly girl. Nobis Maria, Queen viris in via, sepulcrum Christi viventis. It's your chair too. Okay, maybe. Et gloriam vidi resurgere. Make yourself as comfortable as you want, sweetie. Go on. Angelicos testes. Meet your new streamer. Et vestes, surex